All right. Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Nelly of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you again with another special edition of Stout Sunday. And joining me this morning are two very venerable guests. We have Michael Kormeroff from Brooklyn, New York, and the one and only Ronald J. Terrio from Louisiana. If you don't know about Louisiana beer reviews by now, well, you're really missing out. So thank you guys for joining me.
Always great to be here, John.
Hello, John and Neely. Hello, Michael. Hello, world.
Hello, YouTube world. We've got 2,000 people watching right now.
How you doing, YouTube?
So let's see. We'll start with Michael. What do you have this morning?
I have a bottle of Stone Totalitarian Russian Imperial Stout.
Oh, very nice.
At 10.5%.
Gee, I never even heard of it until just now.
It shows you that Stone is in the stout game. More known for their IPAs, I think, but they do have a few stouts.
All right, Ron, what do you have this morning?
Well, I have Founder's Breakfast Stout.
Ooh. All right, a couple heavy hitters this morning. I like it.
Yeah, this is the 2018 version. I wanted to do a revisit on it, but I might have to go and buy another bottle for that. It's 8.3% alcohol, 60 international bitterness units. It was bottled on December 18th, 2018.
Nice.
Double chocolate coffee oatmeal stout. Okay.
All right, and the one that I have today is the Oscar Blues Tin Fighty or Tin Fighty. I've heard it pronounced both ways. This is the bourbon barrel-aged version of their regular Tin Fighty. Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels. This one is 12.9% ABV. I've never had it.
That is a knockout beer. I don't know if you ought to do that one here because it's too strong. You might say some things on the internet that you'll regret later.
Oh, that's all right. I think I'll be all right. All right, we've got Turtle Man watching. Says, cheers, what's up, Turtle Man, the Irish man. And Ronnie S. is tuning in, says, hey, fellas. What's going on, Ronnie? I'm going to give mine
I've had the other version, John, of what you're having, the regular standard version. I've never had the one you're having either.
What'd you think of the standard version?
Thought it was really good.
All right, very, very dark.
Yeah, I've had both, and they're just fabulous.
Smells fabulous.
I was at the Hot Rod shop last night doing whiskey and beer reviews.
I saw you posted something with David Garlapede, the Barton 1792. I've had that. That's very good whiskey.
Yeah, that was at his home, and then I went to the Hot Rod shop, and we did some stuff last night. So I'm going to start posting those.
So Jay, how are negotiations going to get David Garlapede to come on a Wednesday examination? Have you broached the subject with him again, or he's just kind of wants to be shy?
He just basically, well, he doesn't want to do it, and secondly, his problem is he doesn't have the internet set up where it would work. And he's not one of those kind of people that's going to try to get on a phone and use a phone and it be all messed up and everything. He's definitely wouldn't do that. So I would say at this point, he isn't going to join.
Okay.
Now, if he was over here one night on a Wednesday, and yeah, he would just take turns sitting down in this chair. But he's more of a watcher than a participant. Like, I'll do it. Like, if I have the camera and I'm there, he'll do it.
But you can't see him updating his internet in order to do it by himself.
No, and he doesn't even have a YouTube account. He's like, I ought to get a YouTube account so I can comment. He doesn't even. He just.
So he's a novice in the game.
He's not a novice in the beer drinking game by any means, but as far as the
internet part of it,
he's an expert in the internet, in fact. And that's what his job is based on, internet security. So he's definitely not a novice. He probably knows more than any of us. He just doesn't, for whatever reason, have an interest in doing the hangout part of it.
Okay, and that's certainly his choice.
And I would like to get him to do it, but I just don't think there's much promise in it. Okay, you want me to show you my beer real fast?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we've all given them a pour. I've already shown mine.
Look at this thick khaki head, dark brown appearance. Look at that. Boy, that is frothy. That is a dynamite deal.
Looks delicious.
It's going to be oatmeal, coffee, chocolate, barley malt, some hops. First beer of the day, not the last.
All right, so let's see, Michael. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that totalitarian stout from Stone?
Let's give it a look. It is very dark brown. You can't see through it, almost black, and it has a very nice khaki head, which does not seem to be going away. It's kind of soapy kind of look to it.
Yes.
Let me give it a. Okay. Roasted barley malts. That's mostly the nose that I'm getting. You want me to give it a sip?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into them here. I'm dying to try mine. So cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Okay. The taste follows the nose. The first thing you get is the heavy barley malt, roasted barley malt presence. After that, you're getting dark fruit. You're getting kind of a little bit of char, a little bit of smoke. This is fairly intense. You can't taste the alcohol, which again makes this a dangerous beer at 10.5%. So they've done a really good job of the combination of malt and hops together to tone down the taste of the alcohol, the feel of the alcohol. So you really can't tell it's 10.5%, but it is a big beer. So in other words, I can tell that it's not a session beer. You can tell it's not a session beer. I'm going to keep sipping and mull over it.
All right, Ron, tell us about the Founder's Breakfast Stout.
Okay, and so what Michael's saying is that beer gives a little warning signs. It kind of has little alerts on it that you don't overdo it, right? It's what you're trying to say?
That's what I'm trying to say. You wouldn't want to chug this.
Right.
Right.
Any means. Now, I have the whole 12 ounces in here. And excuse me wearing the cap, but it's game day, so I figure what the heck. This cap is old and worn out, and it's in its last days. It has the roasted malt, the oatmeal, the cream. It's sort of like I was going to say like a cream coffee with cream, but I'm not too sure if that's the case. It's not so much it's more barley, sweet barley, and I would describe it sort of like a dark bread crust. And I know people say, not this again. I mean, you know, beer is kind of like the same ingredients, so why wouldn't it always be the same type of description? And I've taken issue with other people who every beer they review, it's 25 new descriptors. And I'm like, there's no way that this could all be that. And I read some of these Rate Beer and Beer Advocate descriptions, and it's like a paragraph with 55 adjectives. And I'm thinking, All right, but anyway, enough rant and rave. And I might also mention last night we tried the Lagunitas Cappuccino
Stout.
Oh,
yeah, I've had that. That's a great beer.
A 22-ounce bomber, and that we were just going crazy. I can't wait to post that video. We were like, oh well, you know. Plus, considering it was $4.99.
Right, and it's like 10% alcohol too, I think. Right.
Something like that.
I'll have to look for it. I haven't seen it yet.
I'd never seen it, but he was just like enthralled. David Garlipeat enthralled by the fact that he got this such a great deal, and he said, I went crazy and I just started buying things like mad, you know, and I did too yesterday. I was in a frenzy yesterday. This one, the flavor, it's dark roasted sweet barley and some oatmeal for the smoothness, but it's not burnt. You know, some of these dark beers I've talked about, and we've talked about it, how they're so dark, they're burnt, and it's almost like cigarette ashes, which to me is not so appealing. A nice velvety mouthfeel, not heavy, but high medium. And the finish is, midway between dry and sweet. It's not too dry. It's not too sweet. It's just like mid-range finish. So you know what kind of score I'm going to give it. But hey. We'll save that.
We'll save that for the end.
Jay, I have a question in terms of that. How does that compare with the KBS, which is more of a bourbon barrel kind of thing?
I prefer it over the KBS because the KBS to me is too much bourbon. And honestly, and this is dangerous to say on the internet, I don't really like bourbon barrel beers so much because they seem to clash. I know that's the thing, right? Not the thing. If I want to drink bourbon, fine, I'll drink bourbon. If I want to drink beer, I'll drink beer. But the two together, to me, isn't so wonderful. But other people would disagree.
I guess my only point would be that was kind of one of the key beers and the key type beers that we did have at this Stout Fest that I went to. So the people who were there were into that style. So a lot of the beers that were there were of that ilk, which doesn't mean they're great or doesn't mean they're not great.
I don't hate them. They don't I'm not repulsed by them, excuse me. But the KBS is very strong. The alcohol is so high. To me, when you're dealing with beer and the alcohol gets too high, it starts getting to a point where it's not too enjoyable. Like the one John and Neil is drinking, that one gets to he's right at the tip top where it starts to become kind of, you hate to say gross or unpleasant, but I've run across that more and more with like the Santa Claus beers, the Bourbon County Stout, 15.2% alcohol. It's just too much. And maybe I'm too weak, and I'll be the first to admit, okay, if I'm weak, I'm weak. But you asked the question, and there's the answer now. This one, I mean, I'm sorry to get so emotional about it, but that's just how I feel about it,
And John, maybe that's one of the reasons why states like Georgia and Alabama want to control the top end of the beer, because they feel that people can't control themselves. I'm not saying that's why.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
that is why.
Maybe because they call it beer and it's got such high alcohol, they're worried that people are going to get confused and down it like a Bud Light. But
you really
can't do that.
I'd love to see them try.
Right. I mean, it's stupid. The whole reasoning behind it is completely absurd.
Yeah,
but
I don't favor those regulations. Okay, well, John, Neely.
So yeah, very excited about this one. The 1050 or 1050 Imperial Stout, bourbon barrel aged, 12.9%. The aroma is just amazing. You're getting some dark chocolate. You're definitely picking up the barrel presence. It's very malt forward. It's definitely very sweet on the aroma. It smells, Michael, you described this with the Bourbon County Stout, and I noticed this with the Old Rasputin and some of the other high alcohol barrel-aged stouts. There's almost like a little bit of a berry note on the aroma as well. It's very pleasant, and it smells dynamite. So cheers.
Enjoy.
Cheers to you.
And the palate, I mean, it follows through. All those aromas follow through on the palate. And I'm kind of the opposite of Jay. Like if you get a bourbon barrel aged stout like this and it's very, very well done, like I believe this one is, I mean, the more alcohol, the better. I mean, because it just seems like when you get the higher ABV barrel aged stouts and they're really well done like that, the extra alcohol just adds to the character, because when you age it in those barrels, it just seems to absorb more of the character from the barrels. And that's just, I mean, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But
hey, if I'm weak, I'm weak. I'll admit it.
No, I mean, and you still appreciate those stouts. You give them great reviews, world class, even for like the Bourbon County Stout, but you openly admit that you wouldn't really gravitate towards something like that. So at least you can rate it fairly within the style, which is nice. But like you said, you wouldn't go for that. It's the same with me and some of these double and triple IPAs. You gotta, I may not purchase them very often and may not really enjoy them, but they are excellently made, so it's hard to really knock them.
Can you taste the 12.9%, John?
You can tell that this is a high alcohol beer because it's warming going down, but it's really not boozy at all. You're getting the berry note. You're getting some dark chocolate. You're getting the roasted barley malt. Like Jay said, a nice toasted bread note in the middle of the sip. It is heavy bodied, obviously. It finishes very smooth. It's got that creamy mouthfeel, so it's very smooth on the finish. It is slightly warming, like I said, but very, very enjoyable. I mean, it's pretty much world class. I can tell you that right now. It's up there with the old Rasputin barrel age that I paid $20 for, and this one was half of that. And this is a full. Let's see. Yeah. This is a 1 pint. This is a 19.2 ounce can. The old Rasputin was like a 17.9, so you actually get a little bit more bang for your buck with this one, and it's just as good. Or, I mean, my initial thoughts are that it's just as good, and no bitterness with this one. Like with the coffee stouts, you get bitterness with those, and some of these other imperial stouts that have more of a hop presence, they have a bittering finish. This one is malty all the way through. You get nice sweet caramel notes, dark chocolate. You get the roasty toastiness from the barley malt, and then you get that creamy mouthfeel and smooth finish. It's a malt lover's paradise.
That sounds great. And even though I don't love that style, I do have to give it what it's due. And what it is usually an A+ or higher.
Right. So let's see a few comments here before we go back around. So Ron, you already answered this. We had Ronnie asking who we going for in football. Well, Jay's pulling for the Saints. And who do you like in the Chiefs Patriots game, Ron?
Okay, I am picking the New England Patriots because they've got too much experience, and the Kansas City Chiefs have a history of bombing out at home in the playoffs. So that's my pick. But I mean, as far as who wins, I'm indifferent. But back in June of 2018, and I have records to back this up, in June of 2018, I picked the Saints over the Patriots in the Super Bowl. True story.
Well, I've got the Saints and the Chiefs, but not because I necessarily think the Chiefs will win, just because I can't stand the Patriots. Being that I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, I can't, in all good faith, pull for the Patriots. Michael, what about you?
I'm with John, and my Giants are the only team that has beaten the Patriots twice in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Even though they haven't been there very often lately, but they did beat them twice in 2 Super Bowls. So I still have that to hang my hat on.
Because they kept the Dolphins' perfect season, Super Bowl winning season alive. The Patriots almost did it, but they lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl.
That is correct, and that's so I'm rooting. That's who I'm rooting for. I care more about. I don't really, I'd like to see the Saints win, but if the Rams win, they're an NFC team. I could get behind them. I will root for the NFC team, whoever it is.
Okay.
In the Super Bowl.
So Jeff Knapp is watching and says he just got in from shoveling and snow blowing, and he wishes he had one of these big beers right about now. Well, I think we're all loving our stouts this morning. So, yeah, wish you had one too, Jeff, especially in that cold weather doing the snow blowing stuff. That's crazy. Purple Gang is tuning in, says, good morning, fam. Good morning to you, Purple Gang. And Jeff Knapp was asking me how much the can costs. If you didn't hear, it was $10.99 actually for the 19.2 ounce can.
That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money for a can of beer.
It is, but this is I'm going to give this pretty much a world-class rating. So, I mean, it's worth it for to try. I mean, obviously I wouldn't buy a ton of this stuff, but as a craft beer lover and a stout lover, I mean, and a bourbon barrel aged stout lover, it's worth trying at least once.
If I'm not mistaken, the small can, which is a 12-ounce can of the regular 1050, had to be like $5. So this is actually, it's in the same kind of price range.
Right. And I'm sure the alcohol too is a lot, 12.9%.
And the alcohol's less in the regular 1050. So doesn't seem like it's that bad.
All right, and then let's see. Terry from Terry's Quick Beer Reviews, great beer review channel, says hello, John. Cheers. Hello to you, Terry. Thanks for watching. And then our good buddy Tyler Mansell is dropping in with a coffee cup and cheersing us with his coffee. So
Yeah.
cheers to you, Tyler. It's a little too early in Seattle, I think, to be drinking a stout, but
right. It's not even 8. It's not even 8 o'clock in the morning over there.
All right. So yeah, I'm loving this stout. We'll go back around, I guess, and give our final thoughts and ratings on these wonderful stouts that we're drinking. So we'll start with you, Michael. What are you thinking?
Well, as mine warms a little bit, its intensity is picking up a little bit. Now, I guess this is true of some stouts, that as you drink them, they get even more seemingly intense. But the alcohol's not picking up. It's all the ingredients in here, and everything is coming together. So I'm really finding this to be extremely well balanced and fairly complex as well. The taste on my on my mouth is getting more extreme and intense, and in this case, that's a good thing. And I'm ready with my rating. I am going to give the Stone Totalitarian Imperial Russian Stout a 97.
Oh wow, very nice. So pretty much.
It's there. Maybe
Yeah.
I do like the Bourbon County a little bit better, but this is lower alcohol though. It's only 10.5. So
just a easily 10.5%.
It's 10.5. Well, the other one was 14.2. So
right.
But it's extremely good, and I don't have anything negative to say about it. It's it shows you that Stone, as well as their ability to brew IPAs, also can brew a very competitive stout.
Right. Awesome. Well, yeah, if I ever see that, I'll have to check it out. That sounds really.
It's a limited release thing, according to the bottle. So it's not something that they nationally release, I don't think.
All right. So, Ron, how about that Founder's Breakfast Stout?
Okay. Yeah, I've certainly never seen the one Michael's drinking, but that doesn't mean it wouldn't show up tomorrow. This one is really good. I like the little roasty. It's very mild. There's a predominant bread crust, and I did have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich this morning on wheat sandwich bread, and the jelly was the strawberry preserves without the high fructose corn syrup. It was natural sugar, and the peanut butter was natural peanut butter. The kind you got to mix with the knife because it's got the oil at the top, crunchy. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. Of course, not with strawberry flavor, but I would say it's a 96 out of 100. It's an A. It's not outstanding quite, but $2.49 for a 12-ounce bottle. It may be one of the great deals of the 21st century, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, Founders is excellently priced. I mean, for the quality that you're getting. Was it? I know you bought a single, but I'm pretty sure you can buy the 6-packs of the Founders Breakfast Stout for either $9.99 or $10.99, which is an excellent value.
Yeah, I think they're 4-packs, 2.49 times.
I think the breakfast. Well, maybe it is 4-packs. I thought the Breakfast Stout was a 6-pack because the Dirty Bastard Scotch Ale is comparable in the ABV. Actually, it's a little bit higher than that, and those are 6-packs here. Anyway.
It might be. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I bought it at Mathern's because you were doing Stout Sunday, and so I was thinking, what stout can I get? And I was going to get Guinness, and I was going to get Guinness Draft, and then I saw the Founders, and I said, well, I haven't had breakfast stout in a number of years, and it's only $2.49 a single. I'll get that, but I wasn't really dialed in on. Is it a 4-pack? Is it a 6-pack? Right. But I'll defer to you. You probably
Well, here we get the 6-packs for $9.99, so that's why I was. So I mean, I would imagine it's probably the same.
$9.99. Oh, that's unbelievable.
Same with the Dirty Bastard, and that's even higher alcohol, and that's pretty much a world-class Scotch ale right there. The Founder's Dirty Bastard.
Oh yeah, great.
Michael got me hooked on that.
Oh, okay, but get hooked on that so quick it would be.
Because Scottish ales are so much different. I mean, if you're a malty kind of person, and John definitely is, you have to like Scotch ales.
Yeah, I love Scotch ales. I mean, I just love Scotch ales. And the Good Night is good. The Oscar Blues Good Night, and the one you're talking about.
The 1050, and then they make an Old Chub, which is their Scotch ale.
Oh yeah, isn't the Good Night. Okay, the Old Chub is the Scotch.
The Good Night is the red, is the IPA. It's like
the hoppy red ale. Yeah.
Right. The Old Chub, I believe I've had the regular Old Chub, and that one was pretty good, although it didn't stack up to the Founder's Dirty Bastard. But I'm pretty sure that they also have an Old Chub barrel aged like this one here, but I haven't had
it. No, I haven't seen that.
All right, well, let me go ahead and give my rating since I haven't done that yet. So, I mean, it's pretty much world class, guys. The Old Rasputin was right there with this one. That one was twice as much. This one is equally as good. Is it the best bourbon barrel aged stout I've ever had? No. I've had the Founder CBS, and then of course the 2017 Goose Island Bourbon County Stout Northwoods edition with the blueberries and almond extract. Those were both perfect, but this one's right there, and it's so I'm going with a 99. I mean, I can't give it any less than that because it's equally as awesome as the Old Rasputin barrel aged, and I gave that one a 99, so I'm going 99 out of 100. And as far as the price is concerned, I would definitely buy another one of these before I bought another one of the Old Rasputin barrel aged, because they're right there side by side. They're equal in quality, and this one is half the price. So
now in my case, I think I might even give it a 101 out of 100 if you'll allow me to say that. A 101 out of 100.
Sure. I mean, that's definitely world class right there. It's better than, I mean, it's
it's world class. And I want to say this to steal from Voltaire. I may not like the beer you drink, but I'll defend to the death your right to drink it.
There you go. Yes, words of wisdom. I agree 100% with that. Because there's a lot of beers that you like that I don't like, and vice versa. Same with Michael and I. But you know, we're all enjoying beer, and we all like different things. But as long as we can all come together at the end of the day and be happy drinking whatever it is that makes us happy, then that's all that matters.
Oh, and I want to say this. I posted a series of photos on the International Beer Review Guild chat and on Alcohol Eggs about the I called it drinking at the hot rod shop last night. So I posted some photos and people can get an idea of that interesting place.
Right. I see you're posting stuff now. I had to mute my phone because it was making noise.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. So I'm guessing that's what you were doing.
Yeah, I was posting photos.
So let's see. Tyler says cheers and spot on. So I guess he's talking about our beers. And then we've got Washington County News Station, Utah is tuning in. Thanks for watching. He says, good morning, everyone. Make sure you push the thumbs up button before you leave this broadcast. Oh, all right. Thanks, buddy.
I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
Well, it's only 9 o'clock in Utah also, so he's up early.
Yeah, I got up this morning at 3:48. Sorry.
So you've been up a long time.
It's 3:48 a.m. Yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it, folks. All excellent beers, world class even. And I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up this live edition of Stout Sunday. Thank you, everybody, so much for tuning in. We'll go around the panel one more time if anybody has any final thoughts, and then we'll close it out. So, final thoughts, anyone?
I assume this is becoming a regular thing, so I assume next Sunday will be on again for Stout Sunday. So, you know, I'm going to keep having enough stouts in my collection to do one each week. And, you know, it's kind of a cool way to get together on a Sunday morning. Now, of course, after the Super Bowl, there won't be any more football after, but we're only a few, you know, baseball will be starting.
Yeah, that's the problem with me because starting next month, I'll be out of town a lot for the baseball series, because what they do is they'll play 3 games on a weekend. And so I'll just be going out of town for these games, and I have season tickets. I have to call them and order the season tickets this week. But so it's not that I would be blowing you off because I'm not interested. It would just be because I'm not around.
Of course, yes, we all understand that people have lives outside of beer,
which we can discuss more after we get off the broadcast.
So we will. So yes, that is no. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. And by the way, you got me hooked on baseball, so I will be going to at least 5 Braves games, home games this year. I thought about buying home season tickets, but I didn't want to go that far, since I'm just
but what a lot of people don't realize, you can get on these Major League Baseball websites, and they'll have incredible ticket deals that people aren't aware of because they don't bother checking it out. They have deals like, and I've experienced these things. Here's some examples. Bring in 2 Dr. Pepper bottle caps and get Houston Astros tickets, 2 tickets for $5.
Wow.
Now, obviously, they're not making any money off the ticket sale. It's being sponsored by Dr. Pepper, and that's where but they want you to get inside the stadium, so then you might spend $60 on concessions and overpriced apparel.
$10 or no, $14 24-ounce cans of Soul.
I still can't get over that, and I begged, and I want people on the internet to know this. Did I not beg you not to buy that?
I mean, I had to get the full experience. I wanted a brat and a beer while I was watching the game. I mean, it's been so I got my experience. It cost a fortune, but it was worth it. I mean, it wasn't worth it, but it was. I'm glad I did it.
But I admonished him not to do that. Now, secondly, here's another example. Miami, Florida, the Miami Marlins, formerly the Florida Marlins. Go to Subway and get a coupon without even having to buy a sandwich. But of course, they figure you're going to buy the sandwich when you go in. Turn in the coupon at the ticket office and get a ticket next to the bullpen where they're warming up the pitchers for $5. True story. I've done these things, people. It can happen. Do not think you have to pay hundreds of dollars to go to a Major League Baseball game. You do not. Just 4 short years ago, I was in New York City and I was in Queens, and I went to the Mets game. And by the way, that was a no-hitter. Of course, I didn't know that when I went. And I was in a recovery mode after going to Michael Komarov's house. So, they're laughing, but
John, we had a few.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah. I saw the videos too. Yeah, y'all were drinking some heavy hitters there as well. That 13th hour and some other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't laughing. I was more like terrified walking to the subway with giant space monkey. But I was able to buy a ticket for $10 cash money on the street, which did scan, by the way, on Street Master. I call it Street Master. So these things can be done. Now, if you're buying it cash, a cold cash sale in the street, you're taking a risk because you never know if it's going to really be a legitimate ticket. But you can still get legitimate tickets from the company itself, the ticket box office, for a very low price. Okay, enough rant.
All right. Well, let's see. Michael, did you give your final thoughts already?
I want to continue the Stout Sundays, at least with you, until Jay can continue. That's great. If once he goes to baseball, we understand.
Right. And of course, anybody's welcome. I post it. I'm not sure how to do it, post it on Facebook yet. I'm still learning all of that stuff out. But I do post it on the IBRG Hangouts chat on Google Hangouts. So and everybody from our little beer group has access to that. So if anybody wants to join, they're more than welcome to. I'd like to get Jean-Pierre on here because I know he's been talking about that.
It's very easy to post on Facebook. All you do is you go up to where the address bar is, you right-click, you press copy, then you go over to Facebook onto the Beer Talk 2019 chat. You press right-click again, paste, left-click.
Oh, okay. So basically the same thing that I'm doing with the Hangouts. Okay.
Easy as pie. And this weekend I may not join because I might go to this church in New Orleans the exact time when you'll be doing the hangout. Sorry.
And I understand that Tyler can't start drinking stouts at 7:30 because.
But Tyler, if you're ever on a bender Saturday night and you're still up and you want to join us, then you know where to find us, buddy.
Yeah, and I want to say one more thing, and then we'll close out. If I ever come up with some obscure, almost totally unimportant beer, liquor, or wine idea, I'll probably call John and Illy at 2:05 in the morning just to let him know that. Now, if I wake you up and you can't get back to sleep, too bad. But I just want to just call you for no reason and give you this.
Yeah, well, that's what people do, I guess. Oh, all right, guys. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in live to this another live edition.
As you see, I've enjoyed mine a lot.
Stout Sunday.
I'm down to the end.
I'm enjoying mine, but I'm drinking it a little bit slower, that 12.9%. I don't want it to kick my butt too much on this Sunday morning. So thank you guys for joining me, and thanks, everybody, for tuning in. That'll do it, and hope everybody's having a great weekend. Enjoy the NFL Championship Sunday games, and until next time, everybody, cheers.